your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
And welcome to the show. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the program today. Martin Gramatica in the house, Super Bowl winner, former Buccaneer, and my old-time friend here from LaBelle, Florida, Martin Gramatica in the house. Give us a little teaser of what we're going to talk about, Martin.
Well, yeah, old Cowboys too, you know.
Cowboys back in the 90s.
I know, man. We're
Throwback.
talking about that. We're old, but no, we're going to talk about lifeguard imaging, which we do preventative scans for heart disease, cancer. We'll explain all that in a few minutes.
Yeah, I love it, man. Saving lives, literally now. Saving lives is Martin Gramatica doing a great job. And we'll talk a little bit about the Bucs too, and the upcoming season as well. Also, Alex BlackBelt Lima in the house. Alex and I are going to do a segment coming up. We're going to talk a little, self-defense, anti-bullying, a little bit about the economy as well, coming up on the program. Also, I wanted to get into entrepreneurship. And I've got a really cool story about a neighbor of mine that is just a very inspiring story. Was homeless and now, went to purchasing a major home, has a great family, a very big home, and just a really cool story and entrepreneurship and how you can change your life too if you're in that position. Some strategies to help you get there on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And before we do, we always like to feature our listings live on air. Our strategy works. We're Keller Williams Realty, #1 real estate company in the world, and we feature our listings live on air. The Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams, 221 Howard Drive. This is a $3 million listing on the beach, Bel Air, Florida. Who wouldn't want to live in Bel Air? Bel Air Beach, 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach here. We got 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square feet, single family home. And it's a great location right on the beach, gorgeous 3-island kitchen, Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, 100 feet of linear waterfront on the deep water access to the Gulf of Mexico. Bring your boats, bring your jet skis. Gorgeous property here. Compliments of Aaron Foley on the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 1 block, of course, to the beach. And it's kind of little known fact, but it's one of the highest land elevations in the area at 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach. Beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay. Old Archer Road. My wife Lindsay and I also are representing 90 pre-construction luxury condos in Gainesville, Florida. So right in time for the University of Florida Gators football season. I'm excited to be going to that Miami game coming up. That's going to be a fun game. We're going to all the games at the home games. We're going to be on working in a sense. Talking about Archer Place. Check out Archer Place. This is the 90-unit luxury condo development that we have listed in Gainesville. And we've sold several of the properties, of course, off the board. But you have starting in the low 400s to the high 900s, penthouses, EB5 visa approved, short-term rental approved, 1 mile from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza, resort-style amenities, gorgeous property here, 3101 Old Archer Road, Unit 209 in Gainesville, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And, Martin, I start off the show many times with that clip because he says, that's Cole Swindell. He says he's raising his glass to those saving our ass overseas, man. And, we're talking in the green room here with our team, David, Alex. We're all talking about the veterans and what they mean to us. And I like to start with that theme and that mantra sometimes with our shows. And I know you're doing special stuff for the veterans too, man.
No, I love that because I'm not from the United States. I wasn't born in the United States, so I appreciate the freedom that we have because of the men and women that sacrifice so much for us. So that's one of the things. Before I even joined Lifeguard, I have my own foundation where we build homes for combat wounded veterans. We're expanding our mission to actually even help out in some remodels. Anything we can do to help a veteran or a military, we're all for it. And now with Lifeguard Imaging, we have incredible programs for them. Once they come in, our patient advocates are going to explain it to them. But it's we've created some really, really unique and incredible programs for our military, police, and firefighters.
Yeah, it's awesome. The Gramatica Family Foundation, soccer game or softball or kickball games and all that fun stuff. I see a lot on social. If you're not following Martin, you're missing a lot on social. You got to follow Martin Gramatica on socials as well, lifeguardimaging.com. But yeah, when you think about it, and by the way, congratulations, Best of the Bay. Couple years in a row now.
2 in a row. Yeah, that's nice. Awesome. The thing that we're so proud of is, and I always tell my kids, even in sports, it's really hard to get to the top. But it's even harder to stay at the top because now everybody's gunning for you. You're that target.
That's right.
And now being second year in a row, we're at Concierge Imaging Center, and we're so proud of that because our patient experience is number one. Yeah. We want to make sure, and you've experienced it, Brandon, when you come through the door, we want to make sure we cater to our patients because everybody's going to have a little bit of anxiety going into the scanner because we're doing something that most people have never done before. The full body scans, I've been with Lifeguard 3 years now, and I've only had 2 patients that have had full body scans prior to our patients coming in for their follow-up scans.
Wow.
It's not something that's well known that you
Right.
can take your health into your own hands and have a preventative scan.
Exactly.
So that's why we want to make sure everybody's comfortable and doing what they want to do. We're going to explain everything we scan for, and at the end of the day, it's the patient's decision to scan for whatever they want to scan for.
Yeah, I tell you, man, these things, luckily for me, I found out about my heart, through the Chinese virus coming across the sea there in the COVID era. And, it's like, hey, we're having lots of parties. My wife said, hey, you got to get checked. And so I went and embellished a little bit to get the COVID test. They'll talk about the COVID test back in 2000, I believe it was. But anyways, long story short, I ended up having a heart attack. I had a double bypass heart surgery. And ultimately, if that hadn't had happened, would I still be here?
Right.
You know?
And the thing, though, Brandon, with heart disease, when patients come in, if we see blockage and now they can go see their cardiologist before that first symptom, because I'm sure your first symptom was probably the heart attack. So, and maybe you start to not feel great, but you don't really notice it because it's everyday life. And all of a sudden, that first symptom of heart disease is the heart attack. And a lot of people don't survive those.
Yeah.
With Lifeguard, when patients come in, we can detect the calcium. They can be proactive, go see their cardiologist. And maybe instead of having a double bypass, it could have been stented. Yep. Which is much easier recovery.
Right.
It's still somewhat invasive, but a much easier recovery than open heart surgery. So we have a ton of success with patients coming in early. And we want people to come in when they feel good, because that's one of the excuses I get from friends. I feel fine, I'll be fine.
Exactly.
No, we want you to come in when you feel good, because if you're feeling good and something's going on, more than likely we're going to catch it early.
Yep.
When you have that first symptom, or you're going to go see your doctor, and usually with cancer, it's late stage when somebody has a symptom of cancer. So we want patients to come in when they feel good so we can catch it early. Yeah.
It's like a false sense of optimism in a case where, I feel fine. I'm sure I'm fine. You got to look inside the body. We have all this technology to look inside the body. And just a footnote on my story, it was actually the EKG that showed, when did you have your heart attack? They asked me. And I said, I didn't know I had one.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was really just a rare case. So I think that's an outlier in a sense to, if you looked at all the statistics, it could be first heart attack could kill many people.
Right. And the thing with EKG, and listen, we're never knocking our healthcare, because we have the best healthcare in the world, but the EKG, stress test, blood work, those are all markers. They're not definitive answers. We're looking inside with a CT, with the latest technology of a Philips machine that's looking for everything. So if we see anything, it's actually read by a board certified radiologist. So they're going to have a report. For example, I had a friend of mine that had kidney cancer, the size of a softball. Wow. Okay, she's lucky because now we can live with one kidney. She had the surgery, had the kidney removed, 2 lymph nodes removed. But what's scary is a month before our scan, she had her annual physical, the blood work.
Right.
And the doctors told her she has the kidneys of a 17-year-old.
Wow.
They're functioning fine, but because they're not using the technology to look inside, they didn't know she had a mass the size of a softball. No symptoms. She had no symptoms whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. But based on the limited data they had, that was their diagnosis. Right. With the data that you have at Lifeguard Imaging, lifeguardimaging.com is where you can check Martin and his company out. Lifeguardimaging.com, you have the comprehensive tools. It's like you said, the technologies just aren't there at a lot of the primary care doctors.
Right. And any hospital can do the scan we're doing, but they're just not doing preventative scans. Hospitals have their machines for reactionary medicine. If a patient has a symptom or they have an issue, they'll scan that area, that region, that organ. With us, and to clarify, our full body scan goes from the top of the shoulders to the base of the pelvis. We're purposely looking for things, so if something's going on and something's abnormal in our body, we're going to capture it. And now the patient can go see a doctor and have it treated. The way I kind of explain it, kind of a little bit of an elementary, is kind of like when we take our car to the mechanic.
Yep.
They don't just start taking the car apart and hoping to find something wrong. They plug in the diagnostic, or the check engine light comes on, it tells them what's wrong, and they fix that.
Right.
We're providing information to people, that way they can go fix it if something's going on with their doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you not want to? And I believe we are going to give away a few heart scans for free here. We're going to do an offer for them. We can text or call the office, however you want to do it.
Yeah, so if they call the office, 813-582-5222, 813-582-5222, mention Brandon or the quarterback show, and they'll have a free heart scan, which comes with a consultation. So they'll come in, they'll meet with a patient advocate. They're going to explain the technology that we're using. They're going to explain the programs and what the full body scans for. And then the patient has the option of coming in for the heart scan or doing more. If they want to do more, we're there to help and take care of them.
I like it. And you're also supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. All of our expert contributors, 813-582-5222 is the number. You get that free heart scan. Martin Gramatica here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, I want to switch gears a little bit too. You've got a upcoming, as if folks don't know, Martin was on a Super Bowl winning team, great team coached by Coach Dungy and just some really awesome players on that team. What do you see going in to this year?
Well, I love the fact that they were able to sign all the superstars back. I mean, when you can bring Baker back, Mike Evans. I mean, I was for sure we weren't going to be able to sign them all. At one point, you're thinking, okay, we're going to either lose Mike Evans. You know, you want a quarterback, but then Mike's been here so long. They're like, oh, if he goes into free agency, they're going to throw so much money at him that we won't be able to afford him. And they signed everybody. Antoine Winfield, which is huge because he's the leader of that defense. You know, now Tristan Wirth with a long-term deal. I don't know. Jason Light is the most underrated, unappreciated GM in the country or in the NFL because he gets it done every year, and nobody talks about him in national TV. Like when you look at the national shows, nobody's talking about the Bucs re-signing everybody. Because if any other team would have signed one of our superstars, they would say, "What a great signing!"
Right
Now we brought them all back, and nobody's really talking about him.
Is it small market bias? Or I'd say average market bias. I mean, we're not small market, but we're not huge.
It could be. I mean, it could be. Maybe, I don't know. If we had Brady, obviously, they would talk about it a lot more because now you become like the talk of the town.
Yeah.
But now I like it. I'd rather stay under the radar.
Yeah.
Not too many people will expect too much of the Bucs, and I think by far we're the best team in the division.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just make the playoffs, and you know how that is. Playoffs, everybody's 0-0, and you just take it from there. So I just want to get in the playoffs and then see what happens. But I love the team the way they built it this year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, man. Especially the team. It seems like Tampa Bay always has to do more with less.
Right.
We got to overperform with limited resources, limited dollars spent, and it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, man, I was talking to a friend too. He was on the show last week. He got a deal with Shark Tank, but he's gonna introduce me to Gronk. Gronk, I guess. Did you hear? Gronk started some fresh smoothie type shop and green sandwiches.
I saw it on the Old Mabry.
Yeah. He's got a couple locations, one in St. Pete. So
nice.
Try to do some networking with Gronkowski. Funny guy. He's interesting to see.
He's a character, man. That's a nice thing. He loves what he's doing.
Exactly.
So, and he plays that goofball type, but he's a very smart businessman. Because one of the stories I heard that he never touched his NFL money.
Wow.
He lived off his endorsements. So everything that he made NFL wise, he would invest. So you don't hear that too much from players.
Right. Yeah. To have that fiscal responsibility, that discipline.
Right.
They're disciplined in the gym. They're disciplined in a lot of ways.
Right.
Some of them definitely don't have the intellectual or that discipline when it comes to the financial side.
Right. No. So that when you see somebody like that, you can respect him, and he's having a good time.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him not smile.
There's something to be said for that,
That's
smiling and being happy, having that that attitude of gratitude, man. I tell you, after my surgery, I look at things differently. I look at where I'm going to spend time differently. Hey, how much time am I going to spend driving there, being there, driving back for whatever the decision might be. And I err on the side of, spending time with the family, spending time with the wife, the kids, and of course, people I like to spend time with as well. So
no, it makes a difference. I mean, obviously with what you've experienced, you probably now appreciate things that you maybe before didn't appreciate as much, and it makes you look at life a lot different. So, and we see it all the time at Lifeguard when patients come back and are very thankful that we saved their life. And they're like, well, I look at life totally different now because I thought I was fine. Now I had something, they were able to treat it. Now I know I can, but you don't take life for granted because you just never know.
Yeah, exactly, man. That Lifeguard Imaging, what a great place to land, Martin. I'm glad. I remember following all you guys were doing with the SIPS panels, and this I can see the energy come out when you talk about Lifeguard, man.
No, I love it. And one of the things I always tell people is that I was a patient first.
Yes.
So I went with my wife as a patient because we knew and felt the importance of being proactive. I want to be around. We have 3 kids. We want to be around for each other. So let's make sure. And at the time, I was going in to get peace of mind because I'm like, okay, I eat well, I exercise, I'm fine. So I'm 100% fine. So I just want to make sure I have peace of mind. But that's not the case, though. We've had triathletes, that come in looking super fit and have something going on. And then you have people that are that really don't take care of their bodies, that you think, okay, there's definitely something going on, and may not.
Yeah.
So you just don't know until you look inside. But yeah, I went in for peace of mind. Luckily, we got it because everything was fine with my wife and I.
Yeah.
But it could have been different because you just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. All right. Hey, good stuff. More with Martin Gramatica coming up here on the flip side. LifeGuardImaging.com. Check him out, LifeGuardImaging.com as well. We're going to talk with him on the flip side here, as well as we're going to talk anti-bullying later on in the program. Alex, BlackBelt Lima, in studio with me, as well as a very cool, interesting entrepreneurial conversation with a story. And then also we're going to debunk some of these cash offers. People are getting cash offers. They're getting taken by these crooks, and it really just pisses me off when I see good, honest, hardworking homeowners getting the raw end of a deal with a lot of these wholesalers, these cash offer type of people. We're going to talk about that here as well. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, cool cats. Summer's definitely started here in Florida. The only question is, are you hot or are you too hot? Here at Pool & Coolin', our goal is to keep you cool. We do AC repairs, full system replacements, and whatever else it takes to provide you with superior service. With over 150 years of experience, our technicians are fast, honest, and dependable. Pool & Coolin', we will keep you cool. Call now, 855-955-COOL. That's 855-955-COOL.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, and we're back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Martin Gramatica, lifeguardimaging.com. We're going to talk with him more about his business, saving lives through early detection, coming up. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We got a listing in St. Pete. Beautiful property here, 719 7th Street North. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Pinellas County. We've got 2-bedroom, 1-bath, plus a bonus room, 1,300 square foot single-family home. You have this beautiful brick paved street, historic uptown district, 7 blocks from Central Avenue, downtown city of St. Pete, still close to the beaches as well. You have natural lighting coming through, real wood floors, high ceilings, a stunning fireplace as well. Kitchen updated recently. Great opportunity here in beautiful St. Petersburg, 719 7th Street North, St. Petersburg. Check it out. 14135 Cypress Circle, another one of our great listings from the Platinum MVP team. We've got over 100 current listings. We would love to talk to you buying, selling, or investing. This one is in Carrollwood Village, Cypress Clusters at Carrollwood. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-carport. You have 1,308 square foot single family home at 14135 Cypress Circle, Tampa. A great opportunity to own real estate here as well. Living room flows effortlessly into the dining room and den. Beautiful color scheme. I love the kitchen, the community pool. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Got to give a quick shout out to my friend Lee over at Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Check him out online. Home or office cleaning. Lee's Royal Services. He's also a handyman, so he can knock off some of your items off of your honeydew list as well. Lee's cleaning services and handyman services. Check them out online, leesroyalservices.com. All right, Martin Gramatica back here in studio and talking about saving lives through early detection. And you got a great team over there. And you also have with the Spanish broadcasting coming up too. That's an exciting time of year for you, and getting to work with your brother now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Football season is always exciting, and that's one of the things. I encourage anybody that's listening to your show, if they want to come into the office and bring their Bucks gear, well, if I'm there, I'll sign it. Saints, I might start to get itchy a little bit, even though I did play from a little bit. But usually the Bucks fans come out and bring their stuff. So yeah, football fun. Time. It's kind of like a kid at Christmas. We wait for Christmas, Santa Claus, and adults are like, we're waiting for football season. That's the best time of the year, that's for sure. Right on.
And the great location here, conveniently located 3001 North Rocky Point Drive, Suite 185 there, Tampa, Florida. So it's right there at the Causeway connection there.
Very easy to get to. It's really convenient for anywhere in town, but we've got people coming in from all the way down from Naples, all the way from Tallahassee. We've had from the Panhandle. So
nice.
If they hear what we're doing, because we're one of 7 offices in the whole country doing preventative scans the way we do them. So it's not something that every city has or every town has. This is something special here in Tampa Bay that we have here that we should take advantage. But we have people flying in to do our scans. So yeah, if you're in the area, why not take advantage of it?
Yeah, I love it. And you also have the corporate wellness program. That's really cool.
Yeah, so any big corporation, they do a lot of executive physicals. What we can talk, anybody interested, they can reach out to Lifeguard Imaging, and then they can ask for me, because I'm kind of in charge of that department. But we can explain to them what the corporate plans are, and there's a lot of benefits to doing a corporate plan. So yeah, if anybody interested, any big company or even smaller companies, we have groups that are 10 employees that have done a corporate plan. So it doesn't have to be a huge corporation, but we'll take care of them with a special program for corporations.
Yeah, it means a lot if the employer's saying, hey, look, I'm going to spend money, I'm going to invest in your future and your health by buying a package of these different scans. You get the colonoscopy scan. I can tell you, and again, from firsthand experience, I've worked with Martin and Frankie and his team over there. Very polite, very friendly staff, and it's just professional. You're in and out, very respectful of your time and your scheduling. So I highly recommend it. And firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization. We're talking with Martin Gramatica, lifeguardimaging.com. And yeah, I love the idea, man. Just early detection, find out early.
Absolutely. And then with the corporate plans, I had a friend of mine that she's like, I always throw a huge Christmas party for my company. This year, instead of that, I'm going to give them the gift of life, potentially save their life. She had 30 employees. 6 of her employees had issues that they had no idea they had.
Wow.
Out of 30. Kidney cancer, lung cancer, and heart disease. So she also threw a Christmas party, but now everybody had their scans. But yeah, so there's ways where we can, pretty much tailor the program to the employer.
Yeah, I love it, man. Yeah, there's nothing that says you care more than that.
Right? Can you imagine? Right, especially for someone that instead of having like major surgery now can have a minor surgery, survive something, and get back to work sooner. So productivity at work. Obviously your recovery from open heart surgery was a lot harder than if it would have been stents.
Right.
So that's where we come in place. Where if there is something going on and a patient needs stents, can you imagine if you waited a year or 6 months and now they needed open heart? It'd be a huge difference. So
yeah,
that's where finding it early, detecting it early makes a huge difference.
How do you want people to connect with you online, Martin?
Online, they can go on lifeguardimaging.com, or they can call the office 813-582-5222. They can find me on social media, Martin Gramatica 7. At Martin Gramatica 7 on Instagram. That's the best way to find me.
The number again, 813-582-5222. Mention the quarterback show. That way he can hook you up with the special incentives there, the special offer.
Absolutely.
All right, good stuff. Thanks for coming in, Martin. Always nice catching up with you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Good seeing you again.
Likewise. All right, going to take a quick break, come back more. We're going to talk with Alex, BlackBelt Lima, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. How to anti-bully. We're going to talk about anti-bullying your kids, some of the programs he has. Also, interesting insights into some entrepreneurial stories here coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
And we're back. Brandon BRimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show in studio with Alex Lima. We're going to talk about some of his fitness programs coming up here, as well as some entrepreneurial talk here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings. We always like to feature our properties live on air. And the strategy works. We help our sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure and the profit, selling faster with less headaches. That sounds like a good time there in the real estate space. 18522 Gulf Boulevard. We got a beautiful beachfront property on the Gulf of Mexico. This one is 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot beachfront condo in Indian Shores. You have private 2-car parking area. And what I love about this property is it's a very low HOA, only $250 a month for the HOA. And you also have the opportunity, the ability to short-term rent this property right on the beach. Beautiful Gulf Boulevard, Unit F, Indian Shores. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. 5601 Blackfin Drive, Newport Richey. We got an affordable condo here in Newport Richey. This one's 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1-car garage, 1710 square feet, 3-story townhouse, covered lanai with a fenced deck and fenced-in deck yard with pavers. You have stainless steel appliances, ample cabinet space, HOA that covers for the grounds, exterior, roof, maintenance, basic cable, trash removal, 2 community pools, fitness center, private dog park, beach access through a membership as well. Close to downtown Newport Richey's beautiful charm and a plethora of shopping and dining options. 5601 Blackfin Drive, Newport Richey, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, quick shout out to our friends at Solar Bear. We got to say hello to Blake Ambrester and his team. Give them a call. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Solarbear.com. You can check them out online. We've got 52 panels on our home. I believe in solar, especially the photovoltaic type that you put on top of single-family homes. Solarbear.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, Alex BlackBelt Lima in studio with me. And Alex, I want to start off with a little bit about this entrepreneurship idea, man. Just, a lot of our friends are small businesses. A lot of our partners are small businesses, self-employed, meaning that, you're signing the front of a paycheck. You're handing out checks to employees in a lot of cases, and you're dealing with small business issues, especially the economy and especially, in today's times. I'm not going to repeat the list. We all know what costs more and what the situation is.
Everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything. But what you look at is this was a really cool story, man. I met a neighbor the other day. It was really cool. He just bought this house, paid just under $1.8 million for it, and bought a beautiful home. And getting to know him, I haven't really met a whole lot and talked to him a ton. But essentially, just the story was, it's like, yeah, man, I was homeless 6 years ago. I forgot exact. And he said, yeah, I used to live right outside that gate in my car. I used to sleep there outside the front entry gate in my car. And I would go to the open house because a few doors down from me on the lake, there's an open house. There's a house that was for sale for a while. He said, I used to go to that open house and just kind of envision and dream and think what this could be like and try to put yourself into that mindset. Right. And maybe they had snacks there too. Realtors bring cookies sometimes. Right. Yeah. But what an interesting story, man, to hear how he was sleeping outside the gate. And then 5, 6, 7 years later, he buys a $1.8 million home inside that gated neighborhood community. That's the power of the mind, right? That's the power of the body.
I mean, that's a testament to the power of manifestation and belief.
Yes.
You put yourself in those. That's I don't like the term fake it until you make it.
Right.
But I do believe in manifestation and self-belief.
Sure.
I have to do that when I compete. I have to see I have to envision the victory.
Yes.
Lately I've had a lot of hard sparring sessions. I've been training with some of my friends. I just had a friend of mine box in St. Pete. He fights pro. I have a bunch of pro fighters as friends, and sometimes I help them get ready for fights and stuff. And I have to envision that sparring session going well. I got to put in the kind of work that they need, and we also, we have to, we go hard. So you gotta, you have to believe that you're doing the right thing. You're gonna make the right moves, because it's one slip up and you're done.
Yeah, exactly. And it does equate to sports. It equates to life. It equates to being a good parent. It equates to a lot of different things. And he's in a successful business now. He's self-employed. He's I don't want to give out all the details here, but essentially he went from sleeping in his car to owning a big. And by the way, the house that he moved from, he didn't sell it. He gave it to a family member. Yeah. He literally gifted that to
pay it forward,
one of his in-laws or whoever it was. And yeah, exactly. So going to a level, taking it from a level of, hey, I'm sleeping in the car. Maybe I'm getting food from wherever, to being in that position that many years ago. And I think it's a testament too. I mean, I even look back myself, to 10 years ago, and just beyond 10 years ago, struggling realtor. You know, I'm a realtor thinking, do I really want to be in real estate? I don't know. It's pretty hard, you know, but when you hear that hard word, most things are hard, and the things that are going to make you better are hard. It's not easy.
Dude, I think life is all about those little plateaus, like those. I think those are all pivotal moments and like forks in the road. I have time and time again seen too many people, you've seen it yourself, give up right before that breakthrough might have happened. Oh, you know, because when stuff gets, it's kind of like, you know, I want to reference like playing a video game. Yep. The game always gets harder before you level up and you fight that final boss. And that's how life is. You know, you're going to get to these, you know, it's not easy street. The challenges are going to get incrementally more difficult. Yep. And then you're going to get to this fork in the road where you're like, man, how bad do I want this? Do I really want to do this? Do I want to fight through these injuries? Do I want to fight through not making a sale, whatever it may be? Yep. And then if you got the guts to push through, that's when change truly happens. That's when change occurs.
Absolutely. And it's also a testament to the power of God and prayer. And especially I know for me on my journey, man, you know, going from the downs to the ups and those plateaus that you talk about, a lot of it was based on, hey man, you know, my prayer life got a lot better when I was in a tough situation. You got no choice, man. You have to be able to talk to somebody, and who better to talk to, you know, than your creator. So. Right. Exactly. Yeah. But I just thought that was a powerful message. I've been wanting to get that story out over a little while. And of course I invited, I said, man, you're blessed, brother. I said, you're blessed. I said, you go to church, you need to come to our church, or, you know, get involved, because you're definitely blessed. And so that was great, man. That was a lot of fun. If you just joined us, I'm Brandon Rimes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're talking with Alex BlackBelt Lima, personal development, fitness manager. He's also a trained fighter, black belt. He's got multiple belts in different combat sports. When you think about some of the stuff going on across the country right now, the different crime you see, New York City hitting high crimes, and you see these things that go viral. That's what's kind of crazy too about the internet is, you know, the girls getting punched in the face, or all those different viral types of scenes that happen. When you think about bullying and kids and those types of things, and just the average layperson today, what comes to mind when it comes to fitness and you know, personal protection?
Well, I mean, that's kind of my entire story, you know, not to get into the whole, like, you know, tell the sob story or whatever, but, you know, I grew up in a rough neighborhood, and basically an abusive household, and then also just, you know, real tough, you know, gang infested, drug infested neighborhood. And I got jumped pretty good as a kid. I fought back, but I mean, you still, you know, as a kid, you're still going to lose, man. You know, it's a numbers game at that point. And instead of, you know, you can fight or flight, you can live in fear. And I came home and I was like, man, I really want to learn how to fight. Because I know these dudes are going to try this again or whatever. Yep. And I was like, Mom, I want to learn how to fight. She was like, okay. So then, you know, started training, and then built the confidence up. So the point is, you know, to fast forward, and you can check past episodes online on the YouTube channel or on my YouTube channel. And I got into martial arts originally for what some might say is let's say the genesis was the right reason. Wanted to learn how to defend myself. And then I trained for a long time, got into high school, you know, you start talking to girls, start doing other things, you kind of stop training a little bit, you just start screwing around doing other things in life, right? But I was getting into some fights in high school, and I started getting mad that they weren't ending sooner. I thought that I should be more dominant. So then I got back into training for the wrong reasons. I wanted to hurt people. And then as I started progressing, getting really good, training with pro fighters, I realized, man, I could hurt people. Yep. And there was no challenge in hurting somebody, knocking out some kid in the lunchroom, or beating up some scrub at a bar in Newport Richie or whatever. It's true. Yeah. So I was like, I want to test myself and see how good I really am at some of this stuff. And that's when I got into competition and stuff. And then it changed. And then the evolution of me was because of it actually started with bullying. Yeah. And then that's what I try to pass on to these kids. I said, we don't ever start a fight. I don't ever want to hear that any of my students, adult or child, starts a fight. But if you have to defend yourself, you will end that fight.
That's right. Yep. And the faster, the better in a lot of cases. And yeah, it's interesting, you know, similar to me, you know, playing football my whole life. But when I got into wrestling, at least at that point, I figured, man, I can control people. I can take them down. I can use that basic knowledge that I had as a freshman, you know, eighth grade going into this freshman year. And we did the USA wrestling, but it gives you confidence. 100%. And I think that's the key with kids today, is if they don't have the confidence, they're going to be bullied. They're going to take that least path of resistance and maybe, you know, walk the long way home from school or whatever that scenario is. So I would say get in touch with Alex. He's got some really awesome discounts right now too, special group rates with the economy. And Alex, I want to thank you for doing that for our audience, you know, trying to help out whenever we know it's tough.
Yeah, I got a couple things going on right now. One is it's $100 special, and what that $100 special is you can come to me, or I can come to you. I can literally come to your house if you wanted to, and I'll bring mats and everything. We'll set it up so wherever you want to train, right? And that $100 special is you and then a bunch of your friends. You get a bunch of people together. You can split the cost of that, and if you want, I'll put you through a workout or a self-defense session, teach you like a little mini clinic or whatever. Another thing that I have in the works right now, it's not finalized yet, but I'll tease it. I'm doing something for adults and children, a fundamentals class where they can come and train together. You know, like I'm not going to have a 4-year-old in there. I have to work out the final age range. I'm thinking around like 7, like maybe 7 years old. To 700, so they can all come and train together and teach you some basics and fundamentals. So I mean, I think a lot of people are intimidated when it comes to mixed martial arts training. But if there's little kids in there, maybe it's a little more soothing to you, and a parent and adult, parent and child can come and do this together, and see that it's not so bad. You can do this in this environment that's conducive to learning instead of just conducive to like pure violence and people thinking that they're going to get beat up and stuff.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. I think people have had that experience. They've had that situation where they've gone to a gym and it's either too much of this or too much of that, right? It's too much of the physical side, push-ups, beating you up, and then you don't have the training for the technical side. And with training with you, that's what I like about it is yes, we do a stretch, we get warm, we do some of the workout, the fitness side. But it's really a lot about the technical side and how not to get hit or how to defend yourself.
That's what it's all about for me. Yeah. I think most modern gyms train incorrectly. I'll straight say it. And I've trained at a lot of gyms, a lot of high-level gyms, $1 million, people fighting in the UFC and stuff like that. And I think they train incorrectly. They train unsafely. A lot of times you get a bunch of meatheads in there just trying to knock each other out. And that's not how you get better.
Yep.
I always use the analysis of like, let's say like Green Berets and Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
The best, the modern day ninja, okay, the best fighting force on the planet, the United States military like that, right? Highest level. Do you think when they go and train, they're using live fire on each other, shooting each other, trying to beat the crap out of each other?
Exactly.
Or do they do a lot of drills, learn the mechanics, and strategize and learn the science of what it is they're doing?
Yep.
And then they're the best fighting force in the world.
Right.
So you don't think that maybe that applies across the board?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to be soft, but there's degrees. What I usually tell my guys is, all right, we're going to do this drill. I want you guys doing 25%. Yep. And then I explain what 25% power is.
Yep.
Then I say, okay, we're gonna mess around a little bit. My more advanced guys are going 50%.
Yeah.
And then the max that I have ever done after winning national and international championships, okay, is with my training partners, 75%.
Yeah.
Okay. I save 100 for fight day.
Right.
All right. Unless it's some guy that tried to get a little too stupid in the gym, and then I gotta check him a little bit. But but otherwise, like when I'm just with people that I like,
right.
No, I don't. There's no reason to go that hard.
Yeah, because it's a teammate in a sense. That's your teammate.
It is
just like in football. Where it's our teammate. We're going, even though we're scrimmaging against the other side. And by the way, a lot of my teams growing up, we wouldn't have enough players to do a full offense versus defense. We'd have to run all left. Yeah. Well, we'd have to run all left plays and then all the right plays one side. We'd have to shift the offense and defense that way. But
that's pretty great though. That makes you understand both sides of the game like that though. Yeah. I like that. I do that with my guys. Like we train, I don't think you fully understand a move. Like let's say an armbar or a choke, for example.
Right.
You do not fully understand the choke until you understand how to defend it.
Yeah.
And you don't fully understand the defense until you know how to apply it.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to be well versed in both in order to be like a high level performer.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all about the next step with those types of moves, those training. It's it's like hitting the switch, moving, so yeah, without getting too technical over the radio. Yeah. All right, check them out online, guys, and support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. Alex, BlackBelt Lima, Consumer Quarterback Show. Alex, what's the coordinates for you?
You can always check me out on Instagram at BlackBelt_fitness. You can call 813-426-1588, and I can work with you with fitness, kickboxing, grappling, self-defense, or we can just do some strength conditioning and weight loss. I can work with you with whatever. I'm well-versed in all of it, so.
Yep, and I've seen lots of ladies in the fitness center there as well, Alex. So that's definitely for women today to be especially cognizant of, right?
Yeah, for sure, for self-defense purposes, and my daughter trains. She's 7 years old, and she trains, and kids, just anybody. I don't want to say it's just women, because men should train too, because you have to be able to protect and defend your family. Women should be able to, when I go out with, if you're going out with a woman, you want her to have your back in a fight. Right. I want to be able to toss her a gun and she can shoot with me.
There you go.
So
that's right.
That's how you win in life. You got to have the right people around you. So.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, you never know. You never know these days. Thomas King. Shout out to Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. A lot of great training over there. Alex, BlackBelt Lima. And coming up, we're going to take a quick break, come back and talk some Stage to Sell. with Natacha Sanderson in the house. We're going to talk staging, real estate here in the final segment. Also, feel good story of the day. 18-year-old uses her tracking skills to guide hikers on a wildfire evacuation route. Feel good story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show. And we'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate.
And we're in studio here with Natacha Sanderson, Stage to Sell. And we're going to talk with her in just a minute. Going to talk about the real estate market. Airbnb is such a hot topic. She's got some great stuff lined up for us here. And every day we like to tell you something positive in our Feel Good segment.
Tell me something good.
All right, got an 18-year-old volunteer firefighter named Colleen Knoll. She heroically guided 16 hikers to safety during wildfires in Canada's Jasper National Park. After receiving an evacuation order, Knoll quickly alerted campers at a lodge and led them on a challenging 4-hour hike across difficult terrain. Using her knowledge of the area and tracking skills, she navigated the group through intense smoke and falling ash, ensuring everyone stayed together. Thanks to her leadership, all 16 hikers successfully evacuated. The experience reinforced Knoll's aspiration to become a professional firefighter. So there you have it, our feel-good story of the day, compliments of an 18-year-old volunteer firefighter, Colleen Knoll. All right, feel-good story. I always like those. Let's welcome in Natacha Sanderson. Welcome back in, and thanks for bringing this information. We were just talking a little bit about, one of our properties that had multiple offers. It was decked out perfectly. It was a beautiful Airbnb property, and it was set up perfect. And lo and behold, it's in a great area. Had multiple offers on it, 3 or 4 offers on this property. So Airbnb is such a hot, and we say Airbnb kind of is like the Kleenex term, but we're talking short-term rentals, could be VRBO or other types as well.
Yeah, including midterm and long-term rentals.
Yeah, midterm, long-term rentals. What do you see in the new Airbnb? What's some of the things that are really popping right now?
I think the experience is what Airbnb is actually trying to gear themselves towards right now. They're rebranding themselves as an experience. So if you were to actually go on their app right now, you could see Kevin Hart there, the Princess Purple Rain House, the Barbie Malibu Dream House, all decked in pink. You just got all these amazing experiences, and people are paying money for that now.
Yeah, they're paying more. They're paying record dollars for those types of experiences, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how that plays out. And then in previous shows too, we've shown images on the screen of the different creative ideas that you do. So your business is helping investors, helping realtors, helping folks that have these short-term rentals, helping them with the design ideas.
Right. I love going creative. So if you can dream something up, let's do it.
Yeah. I love that. Tell me more about some of the property, what the trends are. We always like to think about what's hot, what's not, what's in, what's out.
I think a lot of loud colors is really in right now. A lot of trending loud colors. A lot of like sporting type experiences outside is a really hot trending thing right now, so that you can compete with everybody else. Instead of having the foosball table or the air hockey or the pool table indoors, you want to take it outdoors. So like putting in a pickleball court or a bocce ball, or even back to the, basketball, the old school, basketball.
Yeah, that's fun. And you're because the aging, when you look at the demographics, right, the X and the Y and all these different these generations, the long story short is we grew up playing games, we grew up playing ball, we grew up playing all these different sports, and we're just now, because we have kids, doesn't mean we don't want to be, we don't want to have fun when we're on vacation or we're doing short-term rentals.
No, it's funny because my kids are always like, I'm bored. Well, go make a game.
Yeah,
make something
do
up.
something.
Yeah, have fun. Put a couple different games together. Let's do baseball, golf.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's create something, make it fun. And I encourage all my homeowners, like, let's make something fun. Let's make it up. Let's make something new.
Yeah. And talk to me too about how you work with realtors, because you're also looking for realtors to partner with on the staging side.
Oh, I love working with realtors. Realtors bring me their clients and let's fix up the homes. I love the challenge of design. There's quite a few unique homes in the Tampa Bay area that have very unique spaces. And, there's days where I actually cringe and I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this, food truck kitchen? I literally had a house with a food truck kitchen. They took the kitchen out of a food truck.
Wow.
The challenge was to make it, pretty cool looking, and it sold right away. But there's a lot of those days where I walk in and I'm like, what were they thinking? When you go so custom on homes.
Yeah.
So that's when you really kind of need a stager, is when you have too custom of a home.
Right. Yeah, I've seen those. It could be the layout, could be the style, could be just different parts of it. So that's where you got to put on your creative thinking hat, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And when people do garage conversions and then take down walls and, have these weird headers everywhere, no air conditioning, the challenge is always there.
How do they find you?
Oh, 813-784-3389.
Repeat.
813-784-3389.
And what's the web address?
Stage to Sell Tampa Bay .com.
Stage to Sell Tampa Bay.com. Check out the Instagram as well. Lots of cool pictures up there. Thanks for coming in, Natasha.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we had a great show. Martine Gramatica, Lifeguard Imaging, and of course, Alex BlackBelt Lima as well. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And thanks so much for supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors online at consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes.